Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bible Study Minute. Today we're taking a look at Joshua chapter 5, verse 10 through the end of chapter 6. And things in the narrative are beginning to move a lot more quickly now. And we see Israel on the west side of the Jordan. And before they begin their conquest, we see them first celebrating the Passover, which is very important for them because this is one of the main things that the Lord told them to remember to observe annually. And then we see them beginning to eat off the produce of the land. And as a result of this, now having fresh food to eat, God stops their daily supply of manna. So they're no longer receiving the daily manna from the Lord because they're able to eat from the land. So with that, we then begin to see them making plans to take over the city of Jericho. And the Lord gives Joshua some very strange plans here. Instead of just having them go right into the city, take it captive, God gives them some very specific instructions. He tells them to get their soldiers, get the priests to carry the Ark of the Covenant, and then to get 7 priests and to give them ram's horns, and they're to walk around the city while the priests are blowing the trumpets. And so for 6 days, they're to walk around the city one time. No one's to speak. There's only supposed to be the sound of the trumpet playing, or the ram's horn playing, and that's all they do. Then on the 7th day, they're to walk around the city 7 times. And then when Joshua gives the command, the horns are to blow and the soldiers are to shout. And when they do this, the wall comes down and they're able to go into the city, take it captive, and do everything that the Lord had commanded them to do. Now with this, the Lord gave them one very specific command, which is to devote everything to destruction except the things that are to go to the Lord, which was like gold and silver, the precious metals that were going to go into the Lord's treasury. None of this was to be taken for themselves. Everything was to be committed to destruction. Otherwise, Israel and those who take these possessions that were devoted for destruction were also going to be devoted for destruction. And we'll see what happens with that going on into chapter 7. But here's the thing. We have to remember and take away from this passage is that we need to walk in obedience to the Lord's command. It might seem strange. Israel probably thought Joshua was crazy to walk around the city 7 days in a row. But they walked in obedience to what their commander had given them, and they did it. And then everything that the Lord told them to destroy, they did. And in the same way in our lives, we need to walk with that same kind of obedience. It might not always make sense when we read scripture and we're given a command to do something. But we need to be obedient to it, trusting that what is God's, and that if we lay hold of it, that is going to bring us harm, and then that the things that He has given us are good and for our good. So we need to keep that in mind when we come to Scripture, obey His commands, and walk in obedience to it. So that's my encouragement for you today as you meditate on this passage. And until next time, grace and peace.